G'day, I just thought I'd make a quick video on hot wire foam cutting and how you obtain the wire to make your bow from. This is my bow. It's just a simple frame with an aluminium spine to it. There's two insulators mounted on either end and a piece of nichrome wire stretched between the two, an on-off switch, and on this side of the bow is a couple of lengths of bungee cord, and the purpose of those is just to keep this wire tight as it expands, because it will expand as the heat goes on. Now I'm running this bow on an AC power supply, and that's just simply a transformer, and the voltage of the AC power supply is adjusted on the primary side of the transformer with an ordinary light dimmer. Now, one of the challenges that some people are having is obtaining the nichrome wire. Now, obviously you can probably order it off eBay, and I've heard of people using welding wire, MIG welding wire, 0.6mm MIG welding wire, and I've also heard of people using stainless steel fishing trace. Anyway, the purpose of this video is to explain another source. Now, here in New Zealand we have fan heaters. This is a typical portable fan heater, and inside one of these things is this. It's an array. It's mounted on a frame. It's got insulators on it, and this is nichrome wire. Also in New Zealand we have panel heaters, and these two have been sourced as scrap from an electrical company. Now the reason why these panel heaters typically fail in service is children, 9 times out of 10 it's children, poke things into the slots on them, and the most common thing I've found inside these is coins. Poke a coin into there and it rattles its way down inside. If the heater's on, it goes bang and it's all over. If the heater's off, then nothing happens until somebody turns the heater on. Now, typically inside these heaters you will find this kind of an arrangement. What we have here is a nichrome wire coiled up and held in place with a former, and there's the little element that here's the little element that normally blows, goes open circuit, and then the wall heater doesn't work. Here's another version of the same thing. Obviously you've got a winding of nichrome wire around a former, and these are the elements that get hot. That's the little thermal fuse that typically blows when there's a short inside of here. Now some heaters are made up in this format, and the nichrome wire isn't actually a round wire, it's actually a flat, kind of a flat tape, and obviously they're less than useful to make a hot wire cutter out of, but I just thought I'd quickly give you a bit of rundown on dealing with these things. The first thing, of course, is safety. If you're going to strip wire out of a heater, the first thing to do is lock the plug off. And the next thing to do is make sure nobody else can plug it in. So we'll even chop the cable off. We'll lock those off of there, and I've loosened these screws already, so with a bit of luck we'll get into this fairly quickly. Inside here I expect to find a fan and a heater element. most of the screws on these heaters are star drive, or they call them torque fittings. And they were a problem to get a screwdriver fitting for now, but now they're commonly available. And this is a typical sort of a makeup inside these heaters. Get that out of the way. We'll pry this off. There's a plastic cover here that's used to keep the air flow in the right place and doing the right thing. And here we have it. Inside of here we've got a fan which is inducing an airflow literally through this, and that's the piece you want. And of course what you can do is you can unwind the wire out of this. There's nothing inside here, which is a little unusual. Normally I find children's toys and coins and the like inside these kind of heaters, but that's how quick and simple it is to recover nichrome wire from a heater. This one is a different model. I've loosened most of the screws just so I can get into it quickly. One more screw to pull out of the back. And here we have it. What we have here again is another fan, which is going to induce an airflow through the heater element, which is mounted in behind there. It's kind of like a cartridge, which is held on with some extra screws on the back. So by removing those two screws, we're able to cover one of those. And then by simply plucking these wires out of here, that's what you end up with. And what you have to do with these is if you just grab them and stretch them like this, you end up with kind of like a curly wire on your hot wire bow. So what you actually have to do is you have to unturn them like this. It helps if you put a screwdriver up the center of the core and just literally unwind it, and you'll end up with a wire which is relatively straight. You can actually hook this up to your hot wire bow, and using a pair of pliers on either end, insulated pliers obviously, when this gets hot you can actually give it an extra tweak to straighten it out. And that's probably the most common source of nichrome wire that is available to most people. Costs next to nothing, just a little bit of time to recover it. Anyway, catch you later.